The Flogcast may occasionally contain explicit content that makes it not safe for work or for minors. It also doesn't provide an excuse to use the same words on Bay 13. Normal big footy rules still apply.
You are a coward.
You are Andrew Mackey.
You are Andrew Mackey of podcasts. And if you did your own podcast, it would just be average and terrible. But because you're with us, we've made you into this great podcaster that everybody knows. Be grateful.
All right, so this is the Flogcast for round 11, or should we say the post-season. The emotionally checked out Tiger Starburns is here, and I'm joined by the Andrew Mackey of podcast from St Kilda Cookson.
I'm joining the eco bandwagon.
The holder of Collingwood's 2016 leading goal kicker trophy, Morgan Ashley.
I'm emotionally checked in.
Our resident defeaters flog from North Melbourne, Dan.
This absolute of a podcast will not be posted on Facebook this week. We apologise in advance.
And finally, his team had a win, so he's come back after macking it for a week. The head of the Ty Vickery fan club from Hawthorn, Penal.
That is a match-winning goal assister, Ty Vickery. Thank you very much.
Goo or tears, let's go.
The Asian man at the Tattersalls place down the road, he said something quite croaky after I purchased a Lotto ticket for Tuesday night's Oz Lotto. And no, this isn't some stupid Port Adelaide bet thing. He looked me straight in the eye and said, "See you soon, boy." And I'm pretty sure he knew what he was saying and he meant it. He looked straight at me and said that. So yeah, I don't know why I'm saying that. And I don't know.
So you think you're going to win, Dan? Is that
well,
the
if I do and I suddenly disappear, you'll know why.
Oh, what you would change on us like that?
Oh no,
I
I
think he's
don't.
scared of his life.
Dan wins the Lotto. Too cool for us.
No, actually, I might buy Big Footy. How about that?
You let Suze back.
I would too. Yeah, do whatever I want.
And you'd post the podcast to Facebook.
Oh yeah, that thing. Yeah, for sure.
So all the can enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Too many are missing out on it, I reckon. Get it onto Facebook.
You people.
So, can I clear one thing up? Was that goo or tears? Like, I don't know if you liked it or
I
not.
don't know.
Because,
I don't know if it was goo or tears. How much is it on Tuesday?
40.
40 million. Jesus Christ. That would be nice. Yeah, I'll
I
offer
want to
Chief.
know why he
that.
called you boy.
I know. I don't know.
Dan boy.
White Caucasian.
Oh,
Man.
Danny boy.
Keep describing yourself. It's making it helpful for me to find you.
No, I'm not contributing to your weird footy version of Guess Who. Piss off.
Which tat photo was it, Dan?
Elizabeth
that?
Street 7-Eleven.
Which tat photo was it?
Oh, it was one in Q.
There you go. I'll be there on a Tuesday. I'll fucking find you.
When he goes back.
Yeah, when he goes back to see his
Well,
friend.
you win big. You don't actually go back to you go in the city, don't you, to collect, don't you?
No, you'd have to go there to get a photo with the guy.
Having never won before, Dan, if you can believe that, I don't know the answer.
No, well, I did win 5K in like third division Powerball like 4 or 5 years ago, and I went to the place where I got the ticket, and they've told me I had to go to St Kilda to the head office to collect.
Hang on. Hang on. You won 5K in Powerball about 3 years ago.
No, it was about 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay, so it was early Flogcast days. Right in the midst of when you used to sook about how Chief didn't pay us.
Well, I mean, that's not going to last. It's not that much money. So yeah, to answer your question, Penal, it's not goo or tears. It's whatever you want it to be. Certainly not goo.
What tears then?
Huh?
Stop hijacking the segment. Get some goo or tears.
Yeah, we can have a fucking random Asian man segment.
He just beat out the guy who commentated the Liverpool game last week.
Oh, that was sad and tragic.
Yeah, I think it's more tears, though, judging by the fact that Dan's really pissed off he got called boy. Who wants to go next?
I'm going to have tears. I decided to go down to the TAB, the place that it did not end well. I put $5 on Joe Danaher. He got hold on to, pretty much raped by Richmond defenders. No free kick. Then Fantasia pops up. It's just, I want my $5 back, Joe, you ugly bitch.
Is this another first goal kicker bet?
Yeah.
Oh, don't go near that shit. It's chook Lotto.
Unless you've got some inside tips
Yeah, like
about
goal
what's the best
scoring.
starting
there is
forward.
that. Anytime I've tried to wager the first goal scorer, some midfielder or guy in the back line ends up kicking the first goal. It's bullshit.
Morgs, did you not win it last week though?
I think she mentioned
Yeah.
Ben Brown. Yeah.
Ben Brown.
So clearly, if you know what you're doing, Dan.
Yeah, Bruce
Well,
is
it's all
normally
luck,
a
I
safe
mean,
bet. Like when
you know-
we were winning, he had like 14 out of 22 or something a couple of years back.
Yeah. Sportsbet had a promo once where if they kicked the first goal, you get paid out. If they kicked the second goal, you got it again. If they kicked the third goal, and Stephen Milne kicked the first 4 goals one time, and I got like $900.
Wow. How about that?
Jack Rewalt did it, I think, 3 times. Yeah. So that's when it paid, like it was more profitable to put it on a favourite because they were more likely to kick multiples.
And Package did that on the weekend too. I think kicked their first 4.
Yeah, I wouldn't put money on him.
Okay, I'll have some goo for a player who I last year described as the Tom Rockcliffe of Richmond, who had a fantastic game on Saturday night, named Brandon Ellis. I didn't know he had it in him, but there you go.
Oh, Elroy Jetson. Yeah, he was good.
Look, he's better off halfback than he is in the midfield where he racks up cheapies. He runs well defensively. He intercepts well. Not that Floston's playing, but swapping him for Floston was a no-brainer. I don't have much else. I hate the deliberate rush behind rule, but we'll come to that later.
Yeah, I got nothing really either, so I'm just gonna stick with the Asian man theme and have goo for Chinese people that keep buying up all the baby formula from Australia and sending it back to China because it's really a growth industry and I've been able to make a fair bit of money out of that trade. So
Wait. Are you going into the supermarket and buying baby formula? And
You weird man.
exporting it on using eBay to
You strange. That explains why you went on last week.
I'm using baby
Penal
formula.
baby formula scam.
Can't smuggle baby formula, you.
This has got trade draft-esque.
Wait till Trade Draft finds out that he's selling baby formula.
Do you do this while sitting in a cot?
It's just a growth industry and there's a buck to be made. It's a lot more reliable than going down to the Tats Lotto or TAB.
See, look at the levels you've had to stoop to just to try to get into Canada.
That's 7.5k. How are you there? Nearly there yet? The thing that I don't get is what's with baby formula that there's such a shortage of it? If there's clearly such a demand, why is there no supply? What's it made
No,
of?
it's because the thing about China is that there's a lot of fucking people and the supply there is often very low quality. So they want all of the Australian source products like the A2 and the Aptamil or whatever they call it. So I'm big on A2. So get on it.
Tried it, have you?
And
breast milk panel.
and yeah, they just want the Australian product because the ones they produce locally is shoddy. I wish it was a more exciting story, but it's not.
Shocking Penal. We've stooped to some lows on here, but that might be the worst of them. I think that just leaves Morgs.
Oh, well, I was going to have football-related goo, but it just seems inappropriate. I was just
Lotto
gonna have,
tickets and baby formula. All get out.
I was just going to have goo for Matt Scharenberg making his return, and I thought it was great to see him play and get through unscathed. Yeah, that was it. And I've got tears as well. Heads changing jumpers. I hate it. Annoys me. Do it later. I don't want to see some Brisbane Lion flog in my circle when we're singing the song. Off.
I like it just for the melt that produced.
Who wants Lyndon Dunn's jumper? No one.
Wait. Someone swapped with Lyndon Dunn?
Yes.
Oh, who was it?
Who would want to do that?
Who did
Jesus.
that?
No?
Rockcliffe?
No, you couldn't pay me enough money to wear his jumper. You couldn't.
And I feel bad for Eddie Betts that he had to swap jumpers with like some shit Fremantle player. Poor bastard.
And you know the funniest thing is, they swapped at Richmond Essendon, but I don't know about any other clubs, but I know for a fact Richmond sell theirs. Like, they auction them.
Yeah, they didn't do it at the North Carlton game. I think the
Like-
North Football Club sells the jumpers afterwards because we're broke and we need money.
So the Essendon player who got the jumper basically has to give it back at the end because
If
someone
they're
else is
selling them,
buying
yeah.
it. Yeah, it's just unless they wore two.
Dan, if North's broke, why don't they just sell baby formula?
Because they're in the perfume game. They're not-
Well,
But yeah, North could do the China game next year and just take a bunch of baby formula in their suitcase with them and just sell it on the black market up there.
I googled Lyndon Dunn jumper swap, whatever, and then someone commented on it and said, "Seeing the jumpers are up for sale. If I win his jumper at auction, which one do I get?" Interesting.
But yeah, if North was selling baby formula, then you could probably rig a baby formula raffle and make even more money off it.
oh yeah, a baby formula raffle. Yeah, but those raffle tickets will sell out for sure.
And then Boomer wins. For
Oh,
all
he
the father
swapped
sons.
jumpers. He swapped jumpers with Steph Martin.
Oh, they played together, I guess.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'd just look at him and go, "No, off."
Mhm.
When it was the Indigenous boys swapping jumpers, I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, if everyone starts doing it, then it's tacky.
So why is it only cool if the Aboriginal guys are doing
Well,
it?
because it was
no one else?
Indigenous round.
It was Indigenous round, and the jumpers meant something to them.
Yeah, like the jumper swaps generally don't happen otherwise. Like the Herd and Archer one obviously is quite famous, but other than that, Cam Guthrie and Juddy, I think that's another one, but not many.
Nicky Winmar took his jumper off at Collingwood, but he didn't give it to anyone.
And on
What
that,
a
I want the tradition to keep going in the hope of seeing a player actually say no to another player. No, you're not going to have my jumper. Piss off. No, I don't like you.
At least Archie didn't put Herd's jumper on.
hang on, if it weren't for jumper swaps, there would be a photo of a St Kilda player holding up a premiership cup, but there isn't.
That's the only
There are still
jumper swap
photos
I like.
of that.
I love that jumper swap. That's my favourite.
There, that makes it all worthwhile. You like it again now, don't you, Morgs?
Yep, love it. 16 premierships to Collingwood players. 16.
Let's move on to the reviews, and we'll begin with probably the game of the round, I think, which was on the Thursday night. Geelong versus Port. It was close. It was fairly good standard. Cream rose to the top in the end,
Dangerfield.
and Charlie Dixon gave us all a moment to lol at.
Port was robbed.
No, they weren't.
Dangerfield did it again. It's going to win the Brownlow this year.
Stupid. Who leaves Dangerfield by himself with a minute to go goal side?
Has anyone seen this? We've seen the still frame of that, haven't we? How his opponent gets sucked to the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's just like he's sitting out the back 5 meters in space. It's just like,
The one guy you don't want to
yeah,
leave out.
exactly.
It's just so stupid. I've never played a game of football in my life and I wouldn't do that. Dumb.
Yeah, it's not Stephen Motlop. It's Danger.
I am sort of on the Porter Rob bandwagon, not because of the Dixon thing, which, like, Dixon's an idiot, he should have known better, but there were some very dubious calls late in that game.
The funniest thing about the Dixon thing is, even though it's turned out that he probably did get the 30 seconds, he was so slow getting back. He should have realised. But the funny thing is, the person who actually controls the shot clock is the scoreboard operator at Geelong. So it's not an umpire's thing. He just calls it when it goes off. But if you got a shifty scoreboard operator at which of all grounds Geelong is a good candidate for it, Perth and Adelaide are two others. But it's just like, if that's where you want to do it, you could run the clock pretty early there.
Oh yeah, like, I do think they started the clock too early.
So you're
because-
saying that a scoreboard operator does that, not an AFL statistician?
Well, I
No,
don't know. It's probably someone who works
No,
at the ground.
It's a guy who works at the stadium.
Yeah, so they're probably a hometown
Nobody
person.
is in control of an important part of the game. The shot
Well,
clock.
we don't know, but presumably for something like
Well,
that,
either way, I mean, that's on Dixon. I mean, he had his 30
yeah,
seconds, and
he did. When he stood up, there was 24 to go.
Yeah, and then he took an eternity to walk back. Like, they probably started it too early. Like, they should have started it when he had 24 to go, by the sounds of that. Because he had to get to his feet, but then he should be aware of the situation.
He soaked up 80% of the time without even looking to see how long there was to go. That's just irresponsible. Anything else out of that game?
Are they still holding on to Robbie Gray?
Oh yeah, he was molested.
what's happened to Hamish Hartlett? He's disappeared.
They tried to trade him. He's soft.
Yeah, Norf Norf tried to go after him.
I
And
think
he
we
said
did
no.
too.
Oh gosh, thank God we didn't touch him. He's just disappeared. He's playing like a person that wants to be dropped. Like, I don't want to play, but you keep playing me. He used to be a good player. What happened to him? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Sounds like it does. Do go on.
Sort of does.
No. Well,
Yeah,
he
he
used to be.
discussed football.
He was a good player, and when I heard years ago that North were going after him, I was like, okay, great. I hope we get him. And then I was disappointed that we didn't get him. And then ever since then, he's just gone the shit. There's nothing more to it.
Did anybody see when Dangerfield kicked the goal, Chris Scott going full cheerleader in the box?
Oh, yeah.
That was so Brett Ratton-esque.
So lame.
Yeah, but he's always like that.
I know, but like some coaches just do go a little bit over the top with that.
Yeah, Brad's had
Chris Scott's reactions being over the top. Well,
I'm shocked to be sitting here. Do we have anything else on that game?
I really like how you can see inside the rooms.
yeah, Brian Taylor interviewing people in the rooms. Yeah, that's my favourite part of the footy.
It's a bit invasive, isn't it?
It's like Tiggy. It's like eye contact Tiggy. You don't make eye contact.
You got people walking out of the change rooms, coming out of the showers and stuff. It's just
I
I
know,
don't
but
know,
he
it's a
walks
bit-
around like a weirdo trying to find someone to interview. Like, did he walk up to Harry Taylor with the mic in hand when someone else was interviewing Taylor and just stick it under him? Did I see that? Was that PT?
Maybe could
Could
have
have been.
Someone else was interviewing him for like radio or something, and BT just saunters up and sticks the microphone underneath as well. It's the most awkward thing on TV at the moment. Like Channel 7 finding new ways to up.
It's giving players an excuse to tank.
Don't want to speak to BT. Anything else out of that game? Bruce needs to stop saying caress. Bruce saying caress is like, you don't know Jack saying moist. Can't. You just don't want to hear it. Like,
Bruce needs to stop saying most
Just
things.
stop. Just stop. Just stop.
But look, Geelong did it again on the back of a handful of very good players. And same story, I guess. Let's move on. And the next game was the very next night when Hawthorn managed to pinch one from the Colas in rather amusing circumstances.
Buddy Franklin nearly won it, but Shane Burgoyne won it for his side.
Oh, no, Ruffy did.
Yeah, I'd give more credit to Ruffy.
Ruffy, like, Burgoyne was fantastic, but Ruffy put the
No racist, Cookie.
knockout punch up.
Don't give credit to the Indigenous guy just because it was Indigenous round. It was Ruffy that kicked the goal.
Burgoyne was sensational, though. Like, he wound the clock back a little bit. He was sort of...
Ruffy's Indigenous too, you know.
No, Ruffy's Irish.
He's got ginger-ingenous in him.
No, but Burgoyne was certainly in that bracket earlier in the year with Gibson and Hodge and a couple of others who were basically on their washed-up pile. But certainly he played one of those games that makes you go, nah, he's still
got it.
He's still got it. It might still be his last year at AFL level, but he'll probably see it out. Whereas
Yeah.
Gibson likely won't.
It's good to be kind of going out on your own terms versus kind of limping to the finish line.
Yeah. What else did we get out of that game?
Yeah, Buddy nearly won it for his team. He had no mates. Hanbury was pretty shite. Maybe he wasn't drinking this week.
Well, he's back. No, he's back on. He's back on the piss. It's resulted in his turnaround in form.
He started drinking again, 3-4 weeks ago, but maybe he wasn't drinking this week, and so...
I reckon he was. He lost all sense of direction, didn't even stand the mark properly when Ruffy was lining up. Gave him an extra 5 metres that possibly proved the difference.
Can someone explain to me what Gary Rowan's role is at Sydney and what he does?
He gets injured a lot.
Injured.
Besides that, when he's actually playing, because he doesn't do anything.
No, he's supposed to be an attacking halfback, which is just code for this guy can't defend for shit.
You mean be invisible for 2 hours?
He fills their indigenous quota of gingers.
Origine. Yeah, that's... there you go. There should be a ginger round this year.
He got
the ginger round. It should coincide with press red for red.
Well, is Callum Mills is a
Mills.
ginger, isn't he? He had a stinker.
He just butchered it.
I mean, Heaney was all right.
Yeah, Heaney late when he kicked those goals was good, but he was okay.
They just had too many passengers, really. Like Hawthorn, it's hard to think of anyone who was shit for Hawthorn apart from like Vickery, And even he got a goal
Oh,
assist at the
come
end.
on. Buffalo.
Match-winning assists. Floppy kicked a couple goals. I think our worst player was probably one of the 2 debutants that we blooded. So good to see a bit of youth coming through. Ryan Burton. I mean, just come on. I'm on the money with this rising star call. I don't think there's anyone who can beat him. Probably the first call I'll have made right in about 4 years, but
Out of 100 different calls.
It certainly won't be that number 34 who played for you last week. Fucking faux tough guy he is.
Who number 3?
Who's 34?
Yeah.
oh, he's from New Zealand. Don't
He's a-
hold it against him. And he's a
thinks
ginger. He was
He thinks he's
on the
fucking
ginger.
starring in Once We're Warriors, the fucking wanker. He does. He thinks he's Jake the Muss.
He's a ginger from New Zealand. Cut him some slack. That is drawing the ultimate short straw.
Wouldn't one of your players make him any eggs? Or...
Nah, he was trying to get everyone to make him eggs. Even Swanee had a go at him on Twitter.
He looks like a very dodgy version of Jared Grant, just with red
Ouch.
pubes instead of black.
Joe Grant looks Amish though.
Joe Grant looks like microphone head.
But he's got that like sort of beard that comes directly down from his hair. There's no gap. He looks fucking Amish in that regard. You know how you can't tell where the beard ends and the hair starts. That's what he's got going on. Then I guess the microphone head plays into that.
Amish women are hot.
Okay then. How many have you met
Oh, not many, but just from afar, they look alright.
from afar? So where do you see
From
them
afar.
in photographs?
Oh, look, I don't need to have met them in person to know if they're hot or not. I've never met Anna Kournikova, but I know she's gorgeous.
Yeah, but she's not Amish.
So where have you seen these Amish people?
Oh, where do you think? On TV or on the
Of course.
internet?
On
But they're
TV.
not allowed to be on TV.
Yeah, exactly. They can't be on TV. So where have you?
Oh, so I've made that up. I have no idea what Amish people look like.
Probably actresses.
Amish people can't.
Let's get really technical on a joke that I mentioned. You guys are idiots. Go on. Oh, but
So
you've
you
never
can
met
confirm
Amish people, so how would you know what they look like?
No way you're winning, Tats Lotto.
So salty.
Oh, does the North Pole exist? You've never been there. Come on. Have you ever met $1 billion before? If you've never met $1 billion before, how do you know it exists?
No, you said it exists. You don't know what it smells like.
Have you ever been in space? How do you know the Earth is round?
The ice wall. It's guarded by men with guns.
Are there any legitimate retards on Big Footy that think the Earth is flat?
There is a whole thread of them.
No, but I mean like people that really, not trolling, but actually
No, yeah,
believe that-
all of them. They're not trolling. I guarantee you, they're
have
not
to-
trolling. They're
you have
just
to
dead
link-
set
yeah.
stupid.
Can you just link me to that thread afterwards?
Yeah,
I'm gonna-
these are the same people who think that vaccinations cause autism and stuff.
Good old conspiracies board.
Can someone start a thread on the conspiracies board saying that baby formula gives you superpowers?
You could probably start a baby formula China conspiracy if you thought it up.
I would like to see an Amish one from Dan.
If the Amish don't appear in photographs, do they really exist?
They exist.
No, you need to have met them in person to know that what they look like. And
Seriously, Dan,
that-
if you won Tats Lotto, you'd be like the Joker in The Dark Knight. You would literally just take it
let's
all out,
burn all the money.
bundle it up in a pile of cash and set it on fire. Let's move on. We've got nothing more on Hawks and Colas, I don't think.
Well, yeah, another first gamer, James Cousins. I think he'll be better than the last bloke that had that name.
Yeah, well, if he hangs around Hodgie long enough, he'll end up like Ben Cousins.
Just hope he doesn't cross the line.
Tippett's still shit.
Tippett's still shit. Dean Towers is still the worst footballer I've ever seen.
Tippett made Vickery look good. Like, when you're expecting a spud off, it was not even a contest. Let's go to GWS beat West Coast in a pretty good game out west. Their injury list is a mile long, but they keep getting it done.
That's what you need to do.
Yep, and West Coast is finally out of the running for the last team to lose to an expansion. They were the last team anyway, but it's finally happened. About a year
Who's the
after
last-
Freo dropped out.
The last team to lose to both.
West Coast still haven't lost to
West
Gold
Coast haven't lost to Suns.
Crows have not lost either.
But yeah, GWS has beaten everyone now, so it's just the Suns have got a couple they haven't beaten.
Everyone's lost to GWS.
I didn't watch this game.
I watched parts of it. Toby Green at the end just stood up really well.
I love watching Toby Green play football. I don't care what anyone says.
Oh, he's a good footballer, but he's a cockhead.
Oh, of course he's a cockhead. There's a lot of cockheads in football. Wayne Carey was a cockhead.
Yeah, but Wayne Carey was also like way better than Green.
one of the best footballers to have ever played, and you're comparing him to Toby Green.
And say what you want about Carey. He wasn't a sniper on field.
No, I just
No,
said he was a cockhead. I can still enjoy how cockheads play football.
Yeah, but Green's a dirty footballer too.
He is too. Yeah, I can't enjoy his greatness.
Is he really that dirty?
He punched Caleb Daniel in the head and said he decided he was trying to go for the ball.
He spat on opposition players before. He's a grub.
Yeah, if you're going to spit on the footy field, you better do it Stevie J style and dribble all over yourself.
Like, I know Luke Hodge cops a lot of stick on here, but at least Luke Hodge has class.
No.
Toby Green
No, he doesn't. Go away.
has none.
Luke Hodge nearly paralysed someone.
Luke
Talk
Hodge tried to put
year.
someone in a wheelchair.
And that's probably just the kid that fucking stayed with him when he got him hooked on drugs.
Luke Hodge makes Toby Green look like pacifist Lumumba.
I mean, Lewis Jetta played well. That was
He did. And then he did a dance, and they didn't boo him this time because he plays for West Coast.
They didn't boo him because they didn't know who he was because they thought Lewis Jetta was fucking gone already.
This was a reasonable game, and it was just once Kennedy went down, though, West Coast, you figured they weren't going to get there, but they were literally pretty brave. But the Giants were
The
impressive.
Giants were just that little bit braver.
It was an underrated game of football.
Yeah, they now have to rely on Nathan Vardy and Jack Darling for goals. That's
Don't forget Petrie. Petrie kicked one, bobbed up and kicked a goal. Oh,
He
downhill
fucking
Drew.
played.
Sam Mitchell bobbed up for his first goal in about 2 years.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Elliot Euro's probably going to win their best and fairest. Should be all Australian.
No.
Suck shit, Brisbane.
Kennedy going down probably really hurts their finals, and certainly top four is probably out of the question now. That's their finals chances.
Alright, so from that, I guess we'll go to the Dogs St Kilda.
You're a shit.
Jake Carlisle getting a spoiled overhead mark by Caleb Daniel.
It was chopping of the arms.
No, that was a
I have a
perfectly
question about
legitimate
that.
spoil.
If Caleb Daniel is going for a spoil, isn't every attempt a chop of the arms for someone of that height?
Because he got a good leap. He got a good leap, and Carlisle didn't. Carlisle basically stood there.
Did he get the ball at all?
Yeah,
No, I don't think he did.
he did.
It was chopping of the arms. There's a gift posted by Butcher.
A little
Clear
Ufu
chopping of
Booker
the hands.
has tried to spoil the ball, and he's chopped the arms because he's small. He can't get that high up.
Well, you can if you can jump it.
Clear chopping of the arms. Clear chopping of the arms.
It looked legit for my. It doesn't matter. Carlisle should not be getting beaten in that situation. That's just embarrassing. That's getting run down by Tom Hawkins category.
Oh,
That's the least of our worries.
Well, St Kilda have this year had a bounce against them from Tom Hawkins, and they've had fucking Caleb Daniel spoil them. That's like a double all of shame.
What's next? Rockcliffe kicking a bag of goals.
We already played Brisbane. He was useless.
Tom Mitchell getting 1,000 metres gained.
He was useless against us.
Jack Darling getting a hard contested mark.
Like that's going to happen.
But no, like St Kilda are very, very disappointing at the moment. Like, sure, the Dogs are probably better than them and would have been expected to win, but St Kilda didn't really give a sniff, and the way they lost to Colas the week
Our
before.
line is shambolic at the moment.
McCartney's too fat.
McConnell's good, you know. When they actually tried kicking it to him instead of bombing it on his head every bloody time.
he did
You know?
look a bit bloated from what I was seeing.
Oh yeah,
What's wrong with him?
too many KFC meals, mate.
Just keep the blood sugars up. Don't be
You're
anti-diabetic.
training at McDonald's and in the playground for the week, Paddy. We'll see you on Saturday.
You do well, you get a Sunday.
He's on the Zinger reward system that Hawkins is on.
I've got to say, Maverick Weller has been drinking his own bathwater by the gallon.
What about Dylan Robertson
Yes,
and
you
Cookies
just stole my thunder.
Bathwater?
Dylan Robertson, the greatest halfback player of all time.
I never said that, but
Oh, you
Is that
might as well.
Oh, how
He had
the
a
All-Australian has fallen.
I gooed them up and I gooed up Rory, he failed. Goo up Dylan, he
Rory's
failed.
back though.
Every player I goo up fails, so
Joe Danaher doesn't kick the first goal.
I really should just give up on this football thing.
Could you
Wait.
go about Fife, please?
No.
Fuck you, Cookies.
I'll just go about the Dogs. Everyone will get
Yeah, well, shoot, Morgs will go for that.
Yeah, I'm happy with enough of that.
Cookies kiss of death.
Mackie's kiss.
into you.
You're gonna get Mackie.
I even gooed up Brownie and he got 5 kicked on him. That was due to bad coaching.
Brownie.
Poor Brownie.
Brownie.
Flipping Grim Reaper.
At least Nunes played well. That's a positive.
Can you start gooing about Ryan Burton?
Actually, Ryan Burton's been pretty good. I like Ryan Burton.
Can you start gooing over the benefits of baby formulas?
You're entering a world
Smuggling
of pain,
baby
my
formula.
friend. You're entering a world of pain.
Let's move on to Dreamtime at the G. Richmond beat Essendon. We played shitfully and still won. It was a pretty ordinary game. They are a pretty ordinary team. And yeah, like this was the worst game we played apart from the Freo one the last month, and we actually won this one. Go figure.
Where I was sitting, a lot of Richmond supporters were yelling at Josh Caddy.
Oh, he's not been a popular acquisition this year.
I can't
almost.
repeat what they said because Churf won't like it, but put it that way. We'll need a lot of beeps.
Look, he didn't have the greatest of games, though he was coming first up from the injury. We had a few go missing, though. Daniel Rioli played a bit like Cyril on Saturday night. He was missing for almost all the game. It was where's Daniel? But you know, there were a few down, but Prestier wasn't shit for once, so that was all right.
Alex Rance played very well.
Rance
Probably
played
the
well.
best.
He is a joy to watch.
I love how he competes though. Like he doesn't let it pass. He doesn't let the ball behind him. That's probably the one thing he's always done. He makes sure it stays in front. He makes sure he wins possession. He rarely leaves it in a disadvantaged position. But Asprey was good too. Our defence held up pretty well. They had to get a goal from that dodgy, deliberate rush behind call.
Worst call of the season.
Well, no, not quite the worst call of the season. The Propolo one's still number one.
It's still up there.
It was a shocking call. I hate that rule. They showed a bunch of them on AFL 360, about 8 of them, and all of them looked harsh. I'm just like, did we ever need that rule? I don't think we did. I don't like it. Like, did we ever need the update to the rule that happened this year? I don't think we're crying out for it. But...
I mean, no team cheated like Hawthorn, so we didn't need to change the rules at all.
I think you'll find, Cookson, that it was actually Joel Bowden that forced the rule change
Well,
long before.
Yes. Joel fucking Bowden.
Well, no, Joel Bowden would have been easy to stop his situation if he ever tried it again. All you got to do is park someone between him and the goals, and then he can't turn around to the goals. But
No, because he was doing it deliberately from kicking.
Back then, you could kick it to someone 10 metres away from you, and so it was easy for someone to find space. And as long as you kicked it back to him, he was cool.
Yeah, but Joe Bowden's irrelevant. We don't care about him.
But I'll tell you the thing I do hate about it, and particularly with the deliberate rush behinds, it does happen a bit with the out of bounds, but in that case I'm almost happy to let go. But when the player gives up like Green did, it's just like, it's a shit look. Go, if you're not trying to win the ball, you shouldn't win a free kick in any situation, really. If you're not trying to win the ball, you shouldn't win a free kick. Like, the same way players throw their arms back looking for holding the man when they're not really trying to win the ball. It's just like...
That just seemed like a shit call. Like, he got unlucky because the ball bounced on its point and stopped. If it had kept going end over end towards the goals, then he would have just knocked it over and no one would have said anything. So
I don't like the rule.
There's enough pressure. I thought that was a stinker.
And the thing is, it happened in a game where it didn't matter, but I'd hate to see it in a more important game.
Well, I think most of us can say that if it won Essendon the game, I think we'd be all right with it.
You're an asshole, Dan. Big Footy would have crashed if we lost. Like, the site would still not be up if that's the side of the game.
Dan, we still want Master Coach Hardwick to succeed.
Oh, fuck you, cunts.
Yeah, but if that happens, and you can't blame that on Hardwick.
That is true.
You can't. So Hardwick's still a good coach, no matter what. We're still on board the wagon.
Yeah, no, the fact that they won despite that injustice just goes to show how good a coach he is to motivate the players to respond.
Let's move on to...
Not buying get fucked.
Yeah, I'm not buying get fucked. This is just getting ridiculous. Norf avoided the Norf. It fucking looked like a Norf was coming.
No, it was Boxing's rope-a-dope. Oh yeah, we led Carlton to a false sense of security. They thought they were going to come over the top of us, and Norf just clicked into gear in the last quarter and went bang, 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 bang. Carlton's on the floor, couldn't get up, defeated. Norf wins by knockout.
Okay, on to the next game.
I don't know what else to say out of that.
Other than that, there was no jumper swapping like the other games. North are trying to sell their jumpers.
Yeah, as if anyone wants to put a Carlton jumper on unless they're getting paid to do it.
You ran through the same banner.
Saving on crepe paper. Smart
Was it
bundle.
the shower curtain, or was it a shitty Carlton banter
Slogan
banner?
banner.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was like a, I don't know, a nod to the Indigenous Australians. They ran through it together.
Did any gingers run through it?
Ben Brown ran through it.
He did too. Yeah, celebrating Ginger Round, Ginger Originy.
What's worse? Like, what's a worse hand to draw in life? A Tasmanian ginger or a Kiwi ginger?
I'd go with a Kiwi ginger.
No, they're both bad. I don't know.
Tasmanian gingers are better at football. Jack's better.
That's true. Yep, very well. And Brownie. Oh, now I'm doing it. Shit. What else? We made Bryce Gibbs look like a fucking superstar. He did whatever he wanted.
Usually he just looks like a bitch.
Yeah, and he looked like a legitimate, really good footballer. He'll definitely you'll get the maximum votes for that game, despite Norf winning.
Matt Cruiser beat Godstein convincingly.
Yeah, he did too.
Oh, I guess Goldstein's not the Australian ruckman.
Well, I never said he was. I never said he was going to be.
Well, but
I was on
he beat the
Nankervis
pedo man.
Pedersen wagon. No, Nankervis kicked the sealer in his
He
game.
did.
I noticed
It was
that.
a nice kick, that one. Let's just move on. Games that don't matter. Melbourne rolled the Suns in the Territory.
What's the name of that stadium that they play at? Well, the name's not
Traeger
important
Park.
because-
Traeger Park, yeah. that's it.
Okay, whatever. Because every time I watch a game at that stadium, I see that fucking tree on the oval, and it shits me. It's got to go. Someone's got to chop that fucking tree down, and it's got to go.
Don't you think don't you think it's charming?
No, it's not. You got a fucking tree on the oval. It's annoying and it's in the way. Get rid of it. What if the footy gets stuck on the tree?
Well, it has
The
happened.
umpire's going to climb up and get it.
We'll just get a
Chop it
tall
down.
player to knock it down.
Chop it down.
Yeah, Pedersen can tap it out of there like a ruckman.
It's not cricket. Just get another one out of the fucking bag.
What's the story behind it? Why is there a tree on the oval?
Because it fucking grew there.
No, but why didn't they get rid of it?
Because it's Northern Territory
why
and
it's still
things
there?
are different there.
What's
They're
special
pretty
about
big on
the tree?
their flora and fauna of the NT, mate. They don't destroy nature, you fuck. They don't just
It's
cut
one
down
tree.
trees.
I'm
for
not
the sake of it.
I'm not saying destroy nature. It's one fucking tree.
But that's not what they do.
Well, there were trees around where the MCG was. Why didn't they keep one there? I mean,
They do things differently in the NT because even the sand there is ginger.
it's
I
every
couldn't-
time I tune in to watch a game, I see that tree and it's like, it's still there. Get rid of it.
So like, goes, is that Ayers Rock in the background?
Who said that?
My mum, I'm like, you fucking idiot.
It's not even red.
Ayers
It's
Rock-
not ginger.
Ayers Rock is 6 hours from Alice Springs, you dumb slut.
That is a pretty cool mountain though. Like, I do love the Alice Springs game.
Yeah, the scenery's nice. It's that tree that's got to go.
And it's not just
I
the
think
scenery,
it's
it's the
great.
crowd too.
Oh, it is great for crowd watch. I didn't see a random tit hanging out breastfeeding.
It's like an actual regular season game with the crowds that you get during the NAB challenge where they send them to all over the place. It's like the closest
Yeah,
thing you get.
it was better than JLT and Moe.
Yeah, I was going to say it's the closest thing you get to fucking Moe or Mandurah.
Maybe the reason you didn't see any breastfeeding tits was because baby formula is now readily available in Alice Springs.
All thanks to you and your black market.
For a price. Anything about the game itself, we've just talked about trees and crowds and...
Call a lumberjack and get rid of it. Chop it down.
Jeffy 24 and 5. Jake Malcolm surprisingly played all right.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
Yeah.
Saw the tree too many times and I turned the channel.
I say stand by the tree.
Well, you can go down with it then. Oh, well, I'll chop it down. I don't care. Why don't you chain yourself to it like Lisa Simpson did in The Simpsons?
No, I don't need to, Dan, because no one's going to chop it down.
It's a big tree too. I don't think I could do it.
Next game that didn't matter, Freo are shithouse.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's to be expected.
Well,
Ah,
no, they won like 6 in a row. They'd sneakily won like 6 in a row.
They were like in the top 6 or something ridiculous.
Yeah, and then with one of the
Really?
worst percentages you could think of, and then, geez, it took another big hit.
Jesus, they're 7th. I didn't know they won 6 games.
Yeah,
How the hell did they sneak that up?
they are 6-4 with a percentage of 81.
What?
See it?
We're 12th, a better percentage than that.
I've been thinking they've been bottom 5 this whole time.
No.
They've gone under the radar.
They've snuck a few.
That's
They've
not-
gone over the radar.
They snuck a few cheapy wins.
And that percentage is horrendous too, like 81%.
Yeah, with the last minute wins against Richmond and Melbourne kind of skew the ledger a bit. Like the only team you could definitively say they're better than is Brisbane because it's just such a logjam.
Oh, what about Sydney and the Gold Coast? But if we go on percentages, here are the teams they have a percentage better than: Brisbane, Carlton, and Hawthorn. That's it. They have the fourth worst percentage in the league. The Suns have a better percentage. Sydney have a better percentage.
Yeah, so the only team you can definitively say they're better than is Brisbane.
No, Brisbane, Carlton, and Hawthorn.
And Hawthorn.
And it's funny,
Definitely.
Brisbane have even scored more goals than them, or more points.
Only Carlton have scored less for the year.
Yeah, and Gold Coast have scored more points in one less game.
Oh, God.
Never change, Ross. What happened to his whole banter of wanting to play more attacking football because he wanted 2 more goals a game? That didn't work out for him.
I mean, imagine if Adelaide kicked straight in this game.
When did they kick?
2023.
2023. Jesus. Gosh. They could have won by 140 points.
I mean, Rory Sloane, just a feel-good lounge. It's open again for business.
Yeah, he bullied on a shit Freo, so I mean, come on, you can't really read into that.
Well,
He's getting the free votes. The Brownlow's still on.
Yes. Well, now it's not anymore. Thanks, Cookie.
But yeah,
Don't need you on
I
that.
think, I think Freo are just happy that they scored more than 13 points this time. Because they have become more attacking.
Adelaide Oval is their MCG.
Yeah, no, they're crap. But somehow they have a whole bunch of wins. Sort of false form line, a bit of luck. I don't know who else they've beaten that they'd have such a... They must have beaten a few other teams in close ones.
They beat the Dogs.
Oh, that was
Norf.
a close one. Norf. That was a close one. That was less than a goal too. Yeah, so they've got...
What? They beat North, did they? Shit.
Yeah, you choked up a 20-odd point lead against them.
We didn't.
Yeah, you did. You did. You did.
Shane Kirsten went into the Jared Petrenko Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you're right. They've beaten Melbourne, Richmond, and North by less than a kick within the last 2 minutes of each of those games.
Yeah.
That's why you haven't noticed it, Dan, because they keep falling in.
Fuck off, Freo. Next
is last game. Collingwood smashed the Bryans, which really... I don't think the Bryans are going to beat anyone else for the rest of the year. They're just awful.
Yeah,
Collingwood should have won by more.
Kicked straight. They would have rumped it in.
Collingwood, you got to fill your boots when you play Brisbane.
Well, they did pretty well. They didn't kick straight and still won by 45.
It's a bit of squeaky bum time in that third quarter, I guess.
Yeah, when it got down to 10 points,
You'd never feel threatened against Brisbane, though.
you do when you play for Collingwood.
I don't know. I got nothing out of that game. I didn't watch it.
Neither did I. I didn't go.
I was at the other. Yeah, I was at the North game.
Yeah, I've got nothing on us.
Have you full blown turncoated now?
No, I wasn't at the North game, you fuckhead. Sorry.
I'm sorry. It was a legitimate question. I
I
said
was
you weren't at the Collingwood game, so I just assumed you were at the North game.
No, I was at a family birthday.
Oh, happy birthday to one of Morgan's relations.
Yeah,
Happy birthday.
my cousin turned 2.
Oh, happy birthday, cousin Morgan.
Baby formula?
No,
Make some baby formula?
he's on solids now. He's off the baby formula.
Penal shattered.
But I know where to go for the next one. Penal. Yeah, I haven't even watched the game yet. So
Did you get him a fidget spinner or something? Or?
No, I got him Thomas the Tank Trains, and they're fucking Rosie and
Dan the Grumpy Bus.
all these stupid names now.
Those fidget spinners are choking hazards, aren't they?
Well, if you eat them, you dumbass, yeah.
Well, most 2-year-olds aren't very bright.
Yeah, and this kid would eat the fucking leg off a table.
Still better than eating stinky Chinese food, eh, Dan?
Yeah, of course. Who's going to buy a 2-year-old some Chinese food for their birthday?
Chinese parents?
The guy at the Lotto
I
store.
was going to say, boy. See, so I'll give you some food tomorrow, boy.
I want you to go back there, Dan. Just because you said I'm going to see you soon.
Let's segue to the talking points because we do have a segue, and we'll segue to China. And apparently,
Oh boy.
who would have thought? Who would have thought that someone actually would look at taking Port Adelaide up on the home game? And of all the clubs, it was fucking Geelong.
Oh, what are you doing?
Don't we hear every year about how sooky Geelong are? Oh, we should get 11 games at Canadian Park. Oh, it's a disgrace that we have to play at the MCG and Etihad. And here they are trying to sell one to fucking China.
They're trying to cut in on Penal's business.
We should never hear ever again about Geelong and Canadian Park and how many games they play.
No,
They're
it's
looking
all
to
right.
sell at China.
It'll galvanise the Geelong board, and they'll all be happy about it.
I think it's very smart by them. Very smart. What's more popular in China than red and yellow? Cats.
Yeah, so Penal, they're not gonna muscle in on your market. They'll go for the adults, and you'll feed the children.
No, but like the kids will get the leftovers, and they are going to take my market share. It's just fucking every time.
Every time you think
Typical-
you've got something good happening,
No,
you'll fuck it
It's
up.
typical
Penal.
Geelong. They always come in and like whenever they see Hawthorn doing something, I have no association, nor does my baby Formula Empire has no association with the Hawthorn Football Club. But still, they see this Hawthorn supporter's got a good idea. They've got to muscle in on his market. Just typical Geelong jealousy.
This is how deep the obsession runs. You can draw this parallel.
I would love to get a baby formula sponsor though.
Sponsored by
that's
Gold.
that's when I'll know I'm being fucked with.
But do we have anything else on this?
If they ever complain, again, they should be told to shut the fuck up. You sold a game. Go back to your sleepy hollow.
Yeah.
This is just another example of how poor they really are.
Couldn't even fill out their new stadium the second week it was there.
They can't fill their stadium that they don't pay for, that they could not ever afford to pay for,
But that they make a
completely
killing off
fucking
every time
government.
they play there.
Yeah, but they're the only ones that make a fucking absolute shit truck of money, and they're still in debt. They're just pathetic. No wonder they have to go to China. Speaking of having this, as much as I hate the Dogs for what they've done, Geelong have got their own little fucking corner of the world that they're not fucking doing well with either. Dumb fucks.
Geelong are in that much trouble they might actually have to turn to smuggling baby formula Penal just to turn a profit.
I mean, Hodgepodge isn't on the money. Whenever Hodgepodge makes a thread, he's usually off the mark. But when he said Skills Stadium deal is the new cola or the biggest rort since they got rid of the cola, I think that's fair enough. That's on the money.
Well, we got China to offset that now.
Yeah, so hopefully if they do take the China deal, then the AFL should rebalance the revenue for Skills Stadium and look after the Etihad clubs a bit more, and wishful thinking, I guess.
Let's move on. Next talking point, free agency. Lifetime free agency has been put up by McLaughlin, where previously you had to be 8 years at one club and you could only move once. Now, once you're a free agent, you'll be one forever by the sound of it, if your deal
So,
expires.
for example, if once your 8 years are up and you move to a new club, then after a year of being at this new club and find out it's shit, you can move again?
If you're out of contract, you could, yeah. So
I
the
think
example I would use is, and see, we didn't want this to happen, and it's good that it happened this way, but in this example, Brendan Goddard leaving St Kilda for Essendon right before the drug saga hit, and then what he got was not what he thought he was signing up for, and now he's had to live with it because he's basically stuck there. In another situation, he'd be allowed out. He'd be able to get out after the 3 or 4 years were up, whatever it was.
Yep.
Yeah, so you get a lot more players sort of, once they get to that 28, 29 mark, maybe hopping clubs every 2 years just to try and get to that club at the top in search of the flag. I don't mind it. It'd be
I don't
interesting
either.
to see how it works out. I think free agency is it's already shown that people don't just move to the big name clubs. You know, it's been a good spread of going from top to bottom. And,
It happened a bit when you guys were dominant because you were, but now that it's opened up a bit, or it's starting to open up a bit, you're seeing a bit more movement across the board. And just because the turnaround's so quick, the Dogs have shown how quickly you can turn it around from being rat shit to flag.
Two biggest names this year, probably Martin and Fife, are going to North and St Kilda respectively. So I think it's serving its purpose. No one club's getting a disproportionate advantage.
Anything else on that?
Nope.
Lol Goddard, too late. The bounce, which has been discussed as maybe getting the axe.
Yeah,
That train needs to get to the axe first before the bounce. Anyways, another subject.
I've got no strong feelings on it or whatever. I mean, do we need the bounce?
Are we solely getting rid of it because the umpires are bitching about it?
Yeah, which they never used to do years ago. Now they do.
Exactly. They used to bounce the ball every time there was a ball up.
They used to just
Yeah.
do their job because that's what their fucking job is. And if you can't do the job, get another job.
Yeah.
And like one of the reasons they're changing the rule might have to do with the Eleni Gustis because she messed up like the first 3 bounces and they're worried it would discuss.
Like women, they're complaining about it before she'd even umpired a game.
No,
Penal.
I'm saying that
You
in the
48
circles-
percenter.
No, I'm saying I'm trying to make a point here, and I'm not hating on her or women. I'm trying to make a point.
Yes, you
No,
are.
You're a giant woman
Sexist,
hater. You hate women.
monogamous,
You hate women.
women hating.
They take away your market share. You hate women.
Yeah,
Provide the real milk.
I hate fucking boobs because they're my number one competitor. No, the point I'm making in
We always knew you were an ass man, Penal.
In the AFL inner circles, they are worried about the fact that abuse she copped on social media for the bounce mistakes will discourage further women from going into umpiring. That's all I was trying to say.
What? Well,
Oh, hard enough.
if she can't physically do a proper bounce, then that's not her problem. Just make the other guys do it, and she can do all the other stuff. I mean, so what?
You're only bouncing after goals anyway, so you may as well just
She
have one
can't do the
designated
bounce.
bouncer.
She shouldn't be umpiring. It's part of the job.
If she can do 99% of the job and can't do the bounce, then that shouldn't discourage her. Or
So, how would you feel if you had to do more work just to cover for someone who can't do the job? No.
yeah, but that's a
Can't do it,
physical.
don't do it.
If she can't physically do it, then that's not her fault.
Yes, it is, because that's the job.
Well, Morgs, you literally just described Dangerfield's job.
What?
Doing more work because everybody else can't.
Yeah, well, he shouldn't have to do that. They should get people to do the same amount of work.
You line up before the bounce and you look to see that Stephen Mop's there on your team and you're just like, oh, fuck, I'm in for a tough one.
But no, like, the social media reaction, sure, she might have copped it, but no worse than fucking Razor Ray cop shit. Or there's a thread on the Richmond board about some umpire of the one who paid the deliberate rush behind on the weekend, saying he's a cheat, because apparently we've had him in a few games already this year and he's fucked us.
And his name is Curtis the Boy. Maybe he's mates with Dan.
The boy.
Oh, shit. What? Anyone with the name Boy in their name is a mate of mine.
Yeah.
Come on.
Please.
Surprise.
Oh, no.
Zoran, who let Zoran umpire?
No. Oh, come on. Yeah. Why would you go there? No.
Alright, well, I guess we're split on the bounce, but I don't think get rid of it, but I don't think...
Yeah, I don't really care, but I don't think you can the female umpire just because she can't bounce it. I mean,
Oh, fuck's sake.
she did a reasonable job, didn't she?
Did she
In the
change
first
her
game?
mind at all? I imagine that'd be my problem. I'd be like, oh, fuck, nah, oh, nah. Like, I'm so indecisive. I'd be like, nah, free kick was, nah, not to you, fuck you. Nah, next. Play on, I don't know. I'm going home.
You're going home. The umpire has just walked up and left, ladies and gentlemen.
Crack the shits.
She's thrown her whistle and she's gone.
She's thrown her whistle into the tree and
Grabbed
walked
her
off.
handbag and she's left.
And I was sitting here going, you would do that. You would do that. Shut up. I would throw my whistle and go home. I'd be like, oh, I'm tired.
But, well, it's pretty much that thing that you did, that you talked about a month ago, about that experiment that you only lasted an hour and you had to complain. You complained. You made a fake story about your mum being sick or something and it's like, I got to go. Sorry, I've got to go.
Changed my mind.
So funny.
You would Mackie on umpiring.
Oh, I don't give a fuck. I'd be like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore.
That's very defeatist.
But if she's not good enough to do the job, then
Then
she's...
exactly right. Not good enough to do the job, shouldn't be doing the job.
So just quit after 5 minutes. I'm going.
Yeah, I didn't
See you
say 5 minutes. I'd give it to a quarter time or something. After you get the oranges, then I'll leave.
Question time. Bosk. If Cookie is the Andrew Mackie of podcasts, which AFL player represents each of the other Bay 13 podcast members?
Have we not done this before?
No, I think it was what sort of players we were. So this is actually if I guess now we're talking personas, not
So we're not,
abilities.
yeah, personas, not abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a different take on it. And in that case,
I am not Adam Goods in before you.
well, I was gonna think of someone who sulked a bit. So
No,
Lumumba.
that's racist on your part if you call me Adam Goods or any other indigenous or Origine player.
I think Penal's Nat 5.
In more ways than one.
Obviously, Starburns is Caleb Daniel.
I reckon Penal's more Boomer Harvey.
Oh, rigging everything and
Yeah,
Yeah.
rigging everything. Being a genuinely sus guy.
Oh, speaking of
Spider Everett.
You know what he did?
Trent Crude.
Yeah, Trent Code.
No, okay. The first footballer whose number I ever had on my back was Trent Crode.
You are Trent Crode then. Well, who's the grumpiest footballer you can think of? Because that's certainly Dan.
Oh, come on. Grumpy.
Who's the footballer who you could just tell doesn't?
Who's the
really
most
doesn't-
loved and respected footballer in the competition?
Not you.
Still not Rory Sloane.
Just someone who looks like they do not enjoy their football ever or anything about it. Just
Brendan Goddard.
yeah, Dan's
No.
Brendan Goddard.
Oh, come on. It's just silly.
Pointing the finger at everybody
Point
else.
the finger at people.
Dan is the Essendon Jake Carlisle. This place is fucked.
Yeah.
I'm not playing forward. I'm not doing Gil or Tears.
Yeah. I'm going to video myself doing a line of cocaine.
I reckon I'd be Adam Shaw.
Because
Just real chirpy.
No, you'd be Josh Green.
I don't know. Oh, I was going to say I don't have red hair.
I mean, I get the 5 suggestion, but I would have gone for Sam Mitchell personally.
but you like sticking the knees into people.
Jack Watts.
Yeah, just with the odd crude knee, but otherwise just generally underrated and accumulating without much fanfare.
Max McGornage wants to know strangest, funniest place you've met an AFL player in. Well, we know Penal's answer.
I remember...
DJ Stratosphere,
DJ Stratosphere.
nightclub toilets, for anyone who hasn't. Yeah.
Yep, I will say nightclub toilets where Toby Green asked me if it was okay to drink the water from the tap. Grand final eve last year.
I would say the pub when various Norf players wanted me to shout them beers. They should really go on the baby formula.
Oh, fucking... I wish I'd been in the baby formula game when, yeah, like, you know, you get offered some Coke and I could have turned around and said, no, but how would you like to try this other white powder?
It's full of calcium.
Could have gone into business together.
Anybody else got any other interesting stories of footballers they've encountered?
I saw John Platten in the McDonald's playground by himself in Frenchie Gully.
And what?
He's playing in the McDonald's playground.
Playing?
Yeah.
What, with like his kids?
No, by himself. I was sitting inside having my Happy Meal at the time and I'm looking out the window. Oh, this would have been when I was like 8 or 9 years old and my dad sort of nudged me and said, hey, there's John Platten. I'm like, where? He's going up and down the slide in the playground. I mean, there were other kids there, but we're pretty sure that they weren't his.
I'll see you soon, boy.
Oh, I didn't think much of it because I was just an 8 or 9 year old. But I mean,
Yeah. In hindsight, that seems awfully Rolfy.
each their own, I guess. I don't know. I mean, he's a fantastic footballer, but he was a little guy and with ratty hair, and so maybe he was a bit odd. I don't know.
Okay, Morgs must have some decent stories.
I met Dusty at Lardydale once. That was fun. I met Daisy and the Duck at the Emerson a couple of weeks ago. Never lose it, mate. You don't lose skill, mate. You might lose a step, but you don't lose skill. Shut up, Wayne.
Wonder why he never got into coaching.
You just bag his players' wives.
Well, I've worked for Bomber Thompson. Moving on to this week on the Bay, thread of the week.
I have to go for this thread on the main board. Should the AFL abolish the coin toss before the centre bounce? It is a sarcastic troll thread comparing the arguments for getting rid of the centre bounce with getting rid of the coin toss. And no one got it except for like 2 people, and it's just 4 pages of replies of people saying this is an insanely stupid idea. But it was actually a very well crafted troll thread, like more subtle than say a Lance Uppercut thread. So very well done.
Semi-reach around for Richo at the Disco's thread about the booing bummers, I think it was, or whatever it was, which was a high-quality OP. I thought that was quite amusing.
I think we need a good meltdown, and I think just get fucked.
Who was it who started the thread about the 30-second one? Was it Vesti or Bosk started a thread about Charlie Dixon and 30 Seconds? Charlie Dixon's favourite things, that's right. Charlie Dixon's favourite band, 30 Seconds to Mars, or whatever it was, Charlie Dixon. I liked that thread.
I like to just get fucked, the established thread.
I don't know how you managed to do this, but Plugger made a thread. It was not a very good one, but he made one about Hodgepodge and Bosk. And he just, the lonely guy. It's only got a few posts in it, but I just thought I think the OP was funny, that's all, so I'm just giving him a mention.
Congratulations, establish your melt has won you something.
Not just a day off.
Flog of the week. I'm going to nominate for a button mash in the Geelong and Hawthorn record monumentally embarrassing shit fight thread, and Red Vest has tagged him with the comment, "You bonked your therapist yet?" ? And has mashed the button. I have asked Red Vest a few times not to disrespect my therapist, yet he persists. I don't even know if he's being serious or not.
I am amused by that. That's.
I am very amused by that, but at the same time, he might actually mean it, since it's a fairly limited troll if he's just going to confine it to the post-reports queue.
Hang on, was it that originally mentioned that he was seeing a shrink?
Yes, and that he wanted to bone her.
Well, then anyone that gives him shit for it is on him. That's his fault. It's not like someone outsourced that information outside of Big Footy and started using it against him.
No, correct.
I mean, that's on him.
I don't know. I think he actually means it, but you never know. What else we got?
The entire Fremantle Football Club.
Oh, not this again, Cookie.
They don't post on Big Footy. You can't nominate a football club.
I'll just go for Pepe Le Pew then.
All right.
Okay.
Why?
Why?
Well, they decided to try and call Plugger a racist, but they decided to double down on their own racism.
Oh, why is Plugger a racist?
Because he said, did not know that Hamling and Griffin were Indigenous.
Yeah, well, I didn't know Hamling was Indigenous.
And they jumped on Plugger like a fucking desperate, I don't know, dick.
Freo supporters are pretty easy to get with that stuff. Like, Bender's Nat 5 thread would never have worked if they didn't jump on the defensive from the word go.
But it's like they're an entire supporter base of Vinny Vegas's. That's what I get out of that.
Anybody else we got?
Dibbles had a good backfire. I think he deserves a work.
Actually, can we nominate Penal? You know, there is only so much baby formula to go around, and you're profiteering off
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
pain and suffering of hard-working Australians.
He's going to destroy the baby formula market like he destroyed the housing market.
I am doing a service for humanity. I am making sure millions of Chinese babies don't have to endure the horror of Chinese baby food, you know? Dan, back me up on this one.
What the hell are you looking to me to back you up on this?
No, because you know how bad Chinese food is.
Yeah, okay, but I mean, it's going to be bad regardless. I mean, it's going to stink no matter what.
That's why you got to give them the premium Australian baby formula product.
So they're smart enough to make better food that doesn't stink as much. You're an idiot. I'm not backing you up. You're on your own. Penal is flog of the week.
Yeah, Trent crowed. Is that actually where we're going, though?
Sure, why not?
Alright, next week's games. Only the 6 of them. What are we going to do for this week?
Oh, God. Have you run out of coins yet, Cookson?
No, I haven't even gotten one ready.
Oh, so we might have to actually legitimately tip.
Well, there are only 6 games.
I don't know if I could be bothered. I've been so used to just relying on this magical coin to do it all for me.
We could go back to the dice.
Oh.
No, fuck the dice. That was just a wreck last week.
Oh, the dice was okay. Just because you didn't guess it, ever.
And you cheated.
I didn't cheat.
Well,
He legitimately got him.
oh, yes, of course he did.
I shit you not.
No, okay.
How the fuck was it rigged, Dan? You were here.
Yeah, well, I was late, so you could have planned something in advance It's not a stretch.
I'm not that good. I'm no Penal here. Right, Dan?
There's no coins. We have no money except for Penal, who's making killing with his baby formula. Port versus Hawthorn at the Adelaide Oval. Does anybody give Hawthorn a chance?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm tipping Hawthorn.
No.
Nope.
Port have the good record over Hawthorn in recent years too. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, but that's when they were a semi-good team and they were believing in their own bathwater. Now they don't have that magical
Yeah,
power anymore.
that's also when Hawthorn were a good team.
Yeah, Port match up well
But I
against them.
think
Port
the China thing has just ruined Port.
needs some baby formula just to give them a bit of pep.
I reckon Port by 30. They'll go away in the end.
Port.
Cats versus Crows on the Friday should be a good one. Down at Geelong?
Cats.
Nah, not this time. Crowbots for me.
How did they get to play 3 games in a row at that fucking shithole stadium?
Because they didn't play there till like 3 weeks ago.
Don't they have like
Sure.
6 in a row there?
Something ridiculous like that.
I've seen enough. Send them to China.
Never let them back.
Geelong just.
Crows will win. Rory to shit on Dangerfield. Because Dangerfield's going to eventually tire out from carrying Motlop week after week.
Morgs.
Morgan. She shouted that from the opposite end of the house.
What did she shout?
I don't know.
I don't think it was even to us.
She shouted something.
It sounded like cats.
Help!
Definitely said Geelong.
Help!
She said Geelong.
Did she?
Yep.
Call 000. Call 000. Are you yelling out help?
Geelong.
Help!
Geelong, you fucking...
I need help.
Yes.
Oh, Geelong. Oh, sorry. Well, if you don't get tips from the front yard, we can barely hear you.
I went to the toilet. Oh.
Oh, but
And
haven't you been...
Because I'm not like DB Swanee, I don't take you with me.
Gold Coast versus West Coast. I don't think West Coast entered the Coach Killers Hall of Fame this week. Does anyone else?
I'm going Gold Coast.
West Coast.
West Coast can't play on the road.
Yeah, I think they drew those 2 teams up there once when West Coast were a much better team. So
That's true.
no Kennedy, they'll struggle.
West Coast.
Giants Essendon.
Giants.
Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Giants.
North Richmond.
North Melbourne. Actually, I have a question. What's the correct protocol for someone like myself and my fellow North supporters when Dustin Martin is having a set shot at goal? Because the Geelong supporters all clapped and cheered for Dangerfield a couple of years ago. I mean, what are we supposed to do?
Not get your hopes up is what you're supposed
Do
to
we
do.
clap and cheer for Dusty when he has a set shot at goal? I think I will.
Did you send for Josh Kelly?
We gotta get both. I'm sorry.
And Jack Billings as well.
No one wants Jack Billings.
No, I'm not on the Billings wagon, but I mean, I wouldn't be against it.
Jack Billings.
Who wants Jack Billings?
Maybe we're getting Billings for a 3rd rounder as like the second half of that lopsided trade from last year. Actually, I'm surprised the Hawthorn board hasn't come up with that one yet, given they're still spouting the fight for pre-season draft thing.
But even they don't want Billings. I think we'll win, but I'm not confident.
When was the last time you beat North?
Probably about
What?
4 or 5 years ago.
Jesus, man, come on.
In the would have been the tank game, right? Before
Oh
the
yeah,
final.
actually, yeah. Sorry. It's
Oh,
only
there
2
is.
years
Oh,
ago.
that doesn't
Yeah,
count.
no,
Come on,
that
we can't
doesn't,
count.
really doesn't count.
No, and that was a game you nearly lost too.
No, we won that by 9 goals in the end.
We were up by like 30-something points at
Yeah,
half time.
and then we kicked like the last 14 or whatever it was.
Yeah, you're playing a VFL team, man. Come on, it's a moral loss.
Richmond will win because they've got the better coach by far.
Hey.
That's true. I didn't consider that shit. Oh god,
Dickheads.
Hardwick, he's a good coach.
And finally, the last game of the round. Oh fuck, Freo Collingwood over there.
Oh, Fremantle, fuck off.
Ugh.
Collingwood.
Fremantle to win and then just deceive everyone with their record again.
Yeah,
They need to get like 9-4 with 85% or something.
but I just would not be surprised to see him drop this one, just considering the ones they've fallen in on. Eventually, it's got to stop.
Does this kill Buckley if Collingwood loses this game?
No,
No.
No, Brisbane would have killed them, maybe, but not this one.
because this would make Freo a 7-win team. Then technically good.
They're not good though. They're
I know,
Fremantle.
I
Come
know
on.
they're not. But look, I'm just scrolling ahead through Collingwood's games. Buckley's
No
pretty,
one's going to ask questions if they lose this one.
Buckley's pretty safe to lose a few.
Buckley is fine.
Hawthorn in 5 weeks, I think, is the closest to get to having a concerning loss. Gold Coast in 7 weeks.
We'll be like 10-6 by then. So we'll be like Fremantle, good team.
You got a worse percentage, Adam. You're officially a worse team than Freo, one of only 3.
No issue. We will beat Fremantle. Winning again.
All right, that is everything, I think. Seriously, though, before we go, are you actually selling baby formula?
Not selling it, but I've got skin in the game.
What's that even mean? What's that even mean?
I feel like I'm getting in too deep with the baby formula.
What do you mean by skin in the game? What does that even mean?
Look, it's happening, so I may as well profit off it, you know? All I'm saying, you know, I've got connections who are doing the dirty work and, you know...
Yeah, I don't
So
like that
there's
phrase. It's a phrase that Tom Waterhouse used in his ads.
There's nothing illegal or unethical about the baby formula to China trade. It's just basically everyone
you're just
benefits.
a noble man that wants to make Chinese babies smarter.
Exactly. And healthier.
Yeah, because you care. Yeah, of course. And if you make a little bit of money on the side, then that's okay.
Yeah.
I see exactly where you're coming from.
That's what skin in the game is.
What a courteous, noble individual you are, Penal. You should be honoured and considered Australian of the Year. You know my vote.
All right, so this was the Flogcast for round 11. Starburns joined by Dan.
Yeah, see ya. Bye. Ta-ta. Cheerio. If I win big on the Lotto, you won't know about it because I'll be gone.
I thought you were buying big.
We will know about it.
Unless Chief accepts my offer of $500 for big footy, then you might hear from me.
Morgs.
Yeah, soon, boy.
That's racist. You can't say that.
I want.
Cookie.
We're fucked.
And Penal.
Drink up.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.